I told you earlier I had an idea, and it involves this and that. Now I'm gonna try to take this, put it on there, just like that. Just kidding. I'm gonna use a zip tie to try to tie it into place, and I'm gonna try to make just kind of a quick spot filter for this, so that I can stir everything up and add in some of this sand over here and see if it'll filter out quickly. Not sure if it's a great idea because this pump is extremely powerful for this amount of water. I'm seriously questioning myself, but I'm going to try it anyway. So come along on a journey with me and we'll see how this works out. All right, so I'm going to start here. And take zip ties and secure it around here and hope this will be enough. Let's see, I've got 2 tiers here, so I'm going to secure it at the top, the smaller diameter, and I will also secure it at the larger diameter. And the point, because this is a very overpowered pump, is to keep this filter stock from blowing off, launching off into nowhere. So it's pretty secure. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Next thing is the test. I got suction cups on it, and see, here's the intake with a power dial. I'm going to turn it all the way down and probably put it where the intake can be seen. So on this side of the tank here. And I think I'm gonna have to move a little bit of sand out of the way. I don't know. Here, I gotta show you something real quick. Now, I don't know if you could see that, but there's a rainbow, which means there's kind of an oil slick that's being created. I think you can see it best right down there. So, for sure there's some stuff going on here biologically. I'm gonna put it back in the tripod. And we're gonna see what we can do here. We're gonna see what this looks like. Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. All right. Yeah, you can see all this stuff blowing around. Interestingly enough, though, it's all kind of clumped up. So this will be a good test anyway. See what we can do with this spot pump. I don't really have there's no real name for it, so it's just like in a pinch, you need to filter something out. These feet are kind of grungy. I don't know if they're gonna stick, but I'll try it. Oh boy. Let's rotate this so these aren't sticking here. Let the air out so it won't cavitate, and we will attempt to stick this on the side. don't want is we don't want this to grab a bunch of sand. I don't want to crack the glass by pushing hard. Those are hard suction cups. All right. So as you can see, it's in. Our flow is going to go that way. And let's see. This is kind of ridiculous, so bear with me. Whoa. All right, you can see this pump. Look at all that. Just getting sucked through there. Pushed out that way. It stayed on, so that's good. It really doesn't look like it's making any kind of a disturbance, but you can see all that stuff going into it. That's crazy. That means it's got to be filling up. I mean, you can see that turning brown already, I think. I can. Look at that. Yeah, I can already see that turning brown. That has worked very quickly. I mean, you can see from the suction, there are hardly any large particles being sucked up into it. All right, let's see. So yeah, I can see that bag is turning really brown, and it's filling up more. I can feel it's hard. And you can see when you look down here all the stuff that's getting sucked into it. Now eventually that's going to create too much of a restriction, maybe blow this bag. So if you really wanted a more long-term solution, which I don't know, I want to leave this on for 24 hours or something. So I would suggest, and I'm going to build at least 2 prongs to this, so it comes out here and has 2 bags coming down like that. And as you can see, it's not kicking up any sand. There's almost no flow actually getting out of the bag, disturbing the water. So you're not having to worry about sand kicking around or anything like that. I was worried because this is a really strong pump, but I turned it down and obviously that worked just fine. But if you've got 2 or 3 prongs, as this one fills up and creates more pressure, more of the water will be shunted to that second bag and then to the third bag subsequently as the second one fills. So I think 3 bags is probably a good idea, especially for something that small. Small is manageable, so probably keep it small, and then these could just be washed, I believe, when I'm done with them. So let's continue on. I mean, you see the size of the particles being sucked up is really not that large anymore, and I can stir. I've got my other power head just off. Clean up this algae just a little bit so it gets some more light. But yeah, that bag is harder and harder every time I check it. But if that other power head was going, look at that. Look at all that stuff getting sucked into it. I think it's even sucking up some sand, which is bad. I don't want that. But you can see that vortex. It's starting to make a weird sound too, so that's a real good sign. Not really. But here, let's take a look. You can see see the oil slick better on the top. Meow. Look at that. Yuck. But it's not just a solid oil slick now. I can't attribute that to the pump at all. But look how brown it is. Look how much that's captured in 5-6 minutes. Pretty impressive that it actually works. As you can see, almost, this is an Aqueon AQ 2300. So if you want to try this exact thing, you can. But any power head, any pump with a nozzle like that will do. And you can quickly just get stuff coming out of the water. And I would use this anytime I'd want to just stir up the tank and get all the detritus just floating around in suspension, get power heads kicking up, and then use this to get everything removed and then take it out. Seems like it has good applications, but I'm not sure exactly how often you use it other than, you know, cleaning up excess detritus from your tank. It's good to get things stirred up every once in a while. But anyway, that's how it worked. Kind of better than I expected. So I'll keep bringing you guys along, and we'll see what happens. As I always say, we'll just continue on. We'll hopefully learn something together. This stuff is just kind of swirling around. Got my two deficient heaters. Those aren't working great. So, sand's cleaned up a lot. We got a dead zone right there. You can see all that detritus is coming under the pump, and then it's too heavy to get sucked up. So obviously you'd need other pumps kicking around. This isn't good enough just on its own. As I've turned that pump off because I only have a 4-prong power strip. I know, kind of dumb. Oh well, sally forth. Alright, I just had to show you what I meant. So now I've turned this pump back on. This pump is off, but you see all the stuff kicking around? This all would be getting sucked up into there. Now, I should really plug this one in too. So let's give it a go here. Sorry for the angle. Trying to get the plug. Oh my gosh, no way. All right. All right, so we got this kicking up. Look at that. Pulling everything into it. Just using this in conjunction with that pump helps a whole lot. It's all very nice. It's very nice. You see how this is breaking the surface? That's allowing for that oil slick to kind of break up a little bit. I'm sure that's getting mixed into the water some, and having to pump through this 50 micron filter is, I'm sure it's having trouble getting back into the water. Really nice. It's working excellently. And you see this one is pulling all sorts of stuff up, and it's got maybe a little dead zone right there, right underneath the pump, which is why it's good to have a couple different power heads kicking around so you can eliminate your dead zones, but we're still getting detritus being kicked around and pulled up from there. And even if we wanted to, could take a stick, a paint stir, and just even light and ineffective stirring is effective. just light, doesn't have to be crazy, and that still is enough to get stuff kicked up and flowing into here. Well, it worked all right. I will build a better one and get back to you later. And finally, one more thing. We gotta look and see. That's really on there. Let me get that off. So I just snipped these off with some snips. Nothing too dramatic. All right, let's take this off. See, those bands were really tight. That's good. See how brown that is compared to that. And then let's look inside. Gross. All that is in the tank. Oh, now it doesn't want to focus. Let's bring it under the light a little bit better. And that light is barely getting through. Come on. But anyway, you get the point. It's gross. All that was in the tank on the sand bed. And now it's in here. A little washable, reusable filter sock. And you can see the brown parts are where everything came out. So no seepage through the edges. Nothing came out down at the bottom. And now, if we go, I'm just going to set that there for now. If we go back over here and we look at the sand bed, you can see a big difference from earlier. We still got cloudy water, but as I've seen, that's not a big deal. It clears up in a day. Plus, this needs a water change and blah, blah, blah. Well, looks like I got some water on the wall. I'll have to wipe that up. Anyway, just wanted to bring you along and show you what was up. Seemed to work pretty well. Time to improve the design.